Hello, my name is John Parson. I have COVID-19. Hello, my name is John Parson. I recently had COVID-19. Now, how I got this, I would assume it was during Black Friday shopping. I should have listened and I shouldn't have gone personally to the nearby Walmart, and I'm pretty sure that's where I got COVID-19. I have also chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So it wasn't the best decision going Black Friday shopping, because that just like increased the damage my lungs are currently going through. As the reason I have chronic obstruction pulmonary disease is because I tend to smoke. So my system was already compromised due to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, as the bronchial tubes become inflamed, and that leads to airway obstructions due to the inflammation that it causes. So how COVID affects the lungs and perpetuates a chronic obstruction pulmonary disease is that COVID-19 harms the inner walls of the lungs, and the lungs are already damaged as they are due to the pulmonary disease. Furthermore, COVID-19 can lead to the buildup of fluids in the lungs. That's usually due to the mucus. Now, when fluid builds up in the lungs, it can lead to pneumonia, which further damages the lungs. So it's really hard to breathe. Well, it was really hard to breathe under those circumstances. The coronavirus can also infect the alveoli, which can affect the exchange of oxygen and CO2. So the alveoli are like little sacs at the ends of the lungs, and that's where the exchange of oxygen and CO2 happens. Now, because they're damaged, oxygen can't go into the bloodstream as it used to like it goes into it for a lesser extent, and CO2 can come back in to be released through exhaling in a lesser extent because they're damaged. So it really affects the alveoli. When it comes to inspiration and expiration, well, they kind of both go hand in hand. So the pulmonary disease and COVID-19 both cause shortness of breath due to the lungs being damaged. Furthermore, coughing is a big problem, as the body tries to cough up all the mucus so it can let it in the usual amount of air. So when it comes to things like tidal volume, the amount of normal air we usually breathe in because of all the mucus and the damaged lungs. So let's say a normal breath would be like, it would be shorter, like, or if it became more problematic, it could be like gasps, because it's just the body isn't able to get the air it needs, and the alveoli can't do the proper exchange. So it needs to either release more carbon dioxide or take in more oxygen. When it comes to vital volume, the body can expel all of the CO2 because, again, at the alveoli, it just can't get all the CO2 from the bloodstream because the alveoli is damaged. It can only now take a limited amount. So then when you breathe out, it's less CO2 that you're breathing out, but then in turn you might be breathing in more oxygen to compensate for the lack of oxygen that the body's getting to transfer into the blood. So the best way to counter getting COVID-19 is simply either wearing a mask, as it decreases your chance of getting COVID-19, or social distance, something I didn't do. So like only go out to places if you need to. And overall just like try and stay home as much as you can because it's safe there. You're not exposing others to COVID-19 if you have it as well. So those are a few ways that you can mitigate getting COVID-19 or passing it on to others.